Hey guys, Ryan Williams here with Brandon Belt Fishing, and boy do we have a treat with you. We have a room full of Rayburn Absolute hammers here in the house. They're here to answer questions. I've got Brandon Belt, the owner of Brandon Belt Fishing, in the house. Brandon, thanks for joining us. Man, I'm really excited about all this. First of all, I want to kind of go around the room real quick and introduce all these guys that we have here. First up, we got the team of Derek Mundy, Jason Bonds, they're here. We got Mr. Bullware. Albert Collins is not here today. We also have the hammer Dickie Newberry here. We've got the team of James Larimore and Mark Martin. Back behind them, we have David Curtis and Mark Meck. Next to them, we've got Shane Campbell and Wyatt Frankins, and then we have Benji, Juliet, and Dustin Rivers, who are actually the winners of last year's $100,000 Grand Slam. And we're going to get to y'all here in a little bit. We got a bunch of questions for y'all, but I just want to thank everybody for being here. Just to kind of recap what we did last year in February, of course the weather was absolutely horrible. We had to cancel the second day, and it was probably one of the hardest decisions that we've ever made. But we still had 2 full days fishing, so everybody got to fish the 2 days. And I apologize if the audio is not good. We're here in this big shop, and it is absolutely storming outside, raining. So I apologize to the audience if you can't hear us. Also, we have a singer that is in the house. Mr. Tracy Bird has blessed us with his presence. He is actually fishing the Brandon Belt tournament. So, Tracy, I really appreciate you driving all the way up here. Hey, just to recap what happened last year and the Belt's $100,000 Grand Slam that we had in February, we had roughly about 332 teams. We paid out over $405,000 to the angler. It came out to be 118% payback. If you don't know, it's a charity tournament. We raised money for the Father's Heart Orphanage, which is down in Brazil. So we were able to send them a little over $105,000, which was awesome. And it's due to these guys in here and the rest of everybody else that fishes with us. Out of the $405,000, $267,000 was cash that was paid out. We gave away an $80,000 Bass Cat Era that had a Mercury 250 Pro XS that went for big bass. David Curtis, y'all were so close. Got beat out their last day. And then also we paid out over $55,000 in the day money. Day 1 and day 2 of $55,000. So that's over $405,000 that we paid out for this. What I'd like to do now is, Mr. Mundy, we'll start with you and kind of go around the room here, but just tell us a little bit about yourself, what tournaments you plan on fishing this year, and give you like a little recap of your experience last year. And if y'all won any money, then how much did y'all win? So just a little recap about you.
Man, I don't know. We'll probably just fish any and everything that comes up or whatever. I don't know.
Anything that's out there.
Yeah. Hey, it's your turn.
Love it. Well, we'll probably fish, most of the team stuff. Obviously the belt deal, probably the belt team series. That'll be a good one. Maybe get into some of the other bigger team tournaments. Some of the individual stuff, the Toyotas and maybe the BFLs.
Mr. Bullware?
Well, kind of like these guys, going to, of course, fish the belt. Going to fish the belt tour, as you call it. TTT, BFLs. Pretty much if I'm home and it's available to get in, I'm going to try to get into it. And also like the bigger team stuff. Last year, it was a great event. I'm not going to lie to you. Losing one day hurt us really, really, really bad. But hey, I understand. that's part of it. And it was a good call, but I hope we get to go 3 days this year.
Well, the good thing the good thing. So last year we only had Thursday, Friday, Saturday booked, and there was another tournament the following Sunday, so we couldn't push it. This year we have Humphreys booked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Doesn't look like we're going to get the weather, knock on wood, but if we do, then we can cancel a day and then have the second day Saturday, and then the championship, the top 20 on Sunday.
Yeah, overall it was a great event just to see the way the public came out. That was pretty impressive the way the public came out. And hope it's even bigger and better this year.
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite parts last year. Is just seeing the crowd. Yeah, I mean the entire pavilion was filled, and there was people sitting down on the grass, and it was just a pretty cool moment to decide the winner right there in front of everybody. So I think it's going to be even more fun if we can do that last day this year and get the top 20 there.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got Mr. Dickie Newberry here. Everybody knows who he is. Who are you fishing with this year?
Fishing with Chris Jones out of Oklahoma. Yeah, very, very good fisherman. Can rely on his stamina to keep us going all day. I fished the past 3 years. I've been fishing the tour events, which limited to me to being able to fish any tournaments here. So this year I chose to stay home and try to fish all of our local tournaments and kind of get back in the swing of things, like I did earlier from the 80s and 90s. And kind of get it going, stay young.
Yep, there you go. We appreciate you coming out here, Dickie. James Larimore and Mark Martin. Third place. Y'all got third last year?
Yeah, we tied for third. It's kind of tough to talk behind this Rayburn legend, but so I think this year Mark and I have planned to fish the Belt Series. I think we're going to jump in a few of the Texas team trails, fish the Outlaw Outdoors events, may jump in a few BFLs and some ABAs as they provide an opportunity and have a weekend off and can do it. So, and just like Clayton and these guys said, last year's event was awesome to see. And contrary to Clayton's thoughts, shortening it down to 2 days played into our hand. And so I really enjoyed that, and I hope we're around enough stuff this year to make that top 20 and be there for that final day, because it was a good show with a lot of people out there, and it was good to see the spectators show up for a $100,000 team event on Sam Rayburn. That's really awesome.
Yeah. So what for third place? How much did y'all win for third?
So I think ended up splitting with the team we tied with. We ended up between the day money for both days and third place. We ended up right at 21,000, 22,000, somewhere in there. Yeah, whenever you can come third and win as much as a bass champs, we'll take our chances on that.
I like that dig.
Oh man, Mark, you got any words of wisdom? Owner of Rambo Outdoors, by the way.
Well, he's done said pretty much what we're doing, but I'll go ahead and throw this in that with the $100,000 tournament, it is one of the best tournaments around. Because anybody can go fish it and have a chance of winning $100,000. Yeah, I mean, look, me and James, me and James almost won it. So look at that. But Shane and Wyatt, look at they were right there. But I will say with the series tournament, I'm pretty pumped about the series because that's a tournament that a lot of people have been wanting to pay a higher entry fee and have a chance of winning more money. Because in team fishing, if you go win $5,000, I mean that's a lot. $5,000, but it's not no money. So what you're doing with the team series is what a lot of guys have been looking for.
Yeah, and I think I kind of figured that out pretty early on, is how much time and money and effort the anglers put into what they're doing, and there wasn't a lot that they were getting out of it. So my idea was to give them that option if they wanted to do that. You're going to pay a little bit higher entry fee, but you're going to get paid back a lot more money. So.
Right. I mean, for what gas is today, what boats are, what trucks are, I mean, entry fees have stayed the same for 20 years. They need to go up, and the payouts need to go up, because it's getting to be where just staying local, unless you're a Bull Ware or a Newberry or somebody like that, it's hard to win any money at the end of the year.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And, we're one, I think the more serious anglers are going to pay that higher entry fee. And what I want to do with Brandon Bell Fishing is I want to figure out who the best around is. And I think we can do that through our tournament series and expanding and moving out to different places. So that's the cool thing for me.
Yeah. All right, David and Mark.
Yeah, I'm David Curtis. Mark and I fished this last year. We did really well. We got managed to finish second place. And you guys commenting on the shorter days, they could have shortened it even one more day. You know, would have been great. Would have been great for us. But no, anyway, yeah, it was. I mean, by far one of the most exciting tournaments I've ever fished. I've fished a lot of stuff for a long time, and it was awesome. Really looking forward to the team series this year. Plan on being there for those, and yeah, just really excited about it.
We appreciate y'all fishing with us and being here. Mr. Mark, got anything to add to that?
You know, everybody knows I don't talk, so. Yeah, I don't talk, so. Yeah.
Hey, I think I've introduced myself to Mark about 5 times tonight. I'm just running around, I don't know what's going on. I'm just running around here introducing myself to everybody, so I apologize if I do it more than once.
Well, y'all were leading it day one, right? And had the big bass, and man, everybody was thinking that y'all were just going to run away with almost $250,000, and then.
I mean, we don't want to rub that in, but y'all were pretty close to at $200,000 probably after the first day because you had big bass as well. You still got a good chunk of change, but man.
And actually, I have to thank my wife because she did buy them in the Calcutta. So.
Oh yeah, exactly. I remember that.
Yeah, well, there you go.
To your wife.
So.
I told. Hey, listen, I will tell this story. I told his wife we were sitting there and she was wanting to buy some folks in Calcutta, and I said, listen, we were going through names, coming up with this. I said, I don't know this guy. I said, I don't. I said, but I've seen his name in the winner's circle a couple of times over the last few months. I said, if you want to take a chance on somebody, drop the money on them, and yeah, it paid off well.
Yeah, it paid off very well. And then so y'all won the day money on day one, which was $5,000, I believe is what we paid out. On day one, day money.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah. I know I didn't get any of that Calcutta money though. So.
So y'all ended up in second. Do you remember how much y'all won as far as? I think it was 30.
I guarantee you, David.
Yeah.
David.
Yeah.
30 something. Pretend like you don't know.
He's like, is the IRS listening or what? You know.
I think it's 30,000.
Yeah, about $35,000.
Yeah. I've been closer to 40 with that day money.
Yeah. Shane, what you got good, brother?
Well, we've been looking forward to this one for a year, as you mentioned earlier. Thank you for that. We kind of dropped the ball on the second day. We really wanted to get back out there and catch another good bag, but didn't quite make that happen. So we've been looking forward to this one for a year, and looking forward to the series as well. Unfortunately, I'll be fishing the opens, and I know Wyatt's got some other. He's going to the big league, so we're not going to be able to fish all of them, but we're going to jump in every one we can. Really excited about that to see what you do with that, and looking forward to a good year.
Yeah. Wyatt, he mentioned you're going to the big league. What's that about?
Yeah, not the biggest league. Set that record straight. Still another stepping stone after that one. But yeah, man, I made the decision to go ahead and try that out, and I'm excited about it. You know, it's going to be an interesting year. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous, but I'm ready for it. I think it's more of an excited nervous than it is a scared nervous. So, you know, last year Shane kind of touched on it. Set in a good position after day one, so a little hungry to get back out there for this one this year. I think it'll be a little different. I think definitely the lake's will be setting up just a hair different than last year. A lot of things have happened between now and then that the lake has changed a lot. So it'll be really interesting to see how we do in this one. And I think us last year we were in third after day one, so we got the day money, and then we fell we did not have a good day two like you alluded to. We fell all the way to 12th and still ended up with how much money did we make?
Not enough. Wasn't
It was still a good payday for a 12th place finish. Compared to any other team circuit around, it was a hell of a payday. So really looking forward to getting back out there this year.
And I think your new bass guy's supposed to be here next week, I believe.
Yeah, let's hope so. We've had some things happen. We had basically an Arctic freeze down here, especially up where they're at. They're kind of locked up, so that's the reason it's just a hair behind. But I'm excited to get it, man. It's gonna be a cougar, and excited to run that boat next year on tour.
Okay, awesome. Benji and Dustin, the $100,000 winners of 2022. Tell me a little bit about yourselves. To be honest with you, I'd heard of y'all, but I didn't know you. I mean, I knew y'all are really good anglers on Toledo and Rayburn or whatever. But I mean, and I hate to steal your thunder, but I mean, y'all came in and it seemed like y'all are the most consistent. I mean, we had a 29-pound bag and some 25s or whatever, but it seemed like, and I don't know if y'all were on the same fish the whole time or whatever, but it seemed like y'all had, if I remember correctly, like 21 pounds around the first day, and then 21 pounds the second day, and y'all just slid it right in there. So
we fished Toledo primarily, and then once this tournament was announced last year, starting in November, I drove to Rayburn every time I went fishing. The past Toledo Bend every day going fishing. And, we put all of our effort into this tournament. Yeah, and, we were fairly new to the lake, don't really know how to run the lake too good. We're used to boat lanes on Toledo. Y'all don't have boat lanes on Rayburn, so, we just kind of settled down in some areas, and, every time we would go, we would pick them apart a little more and more. And we found some stuff that kind of set up for our style of fishing. And leading up to the tournament, we were really excited because I felt like we had some fish coming to us. And we all remember day one, it was miserable. It couldn't have got any worse. So, we made it through that day, and then, good call on canceling day two. I know it sucked for everybody, but you had to do what you had to do. And then, day two rolls around, and our fish are still biting. And, you look at these guys that were in front of us, it's kind of the who's who of Rayburn. And never would have thought that we could have moved up like we did, but, man, it was an exciting time. Just fantastic tournament,
Now, was that the most y'all ever won in a tournament, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know of a $100,000 team tournament that's ever been offered, so yeah, that was a big payday.
Did y'all buy anything with the money, or just kind of put it back?
We're just kind of seeing what Uncle Sam wants to do with it first. But
so you still have it?
Oh yeah.
I'd have blown it in 2 weeks.
So yeah, I mean, a funny story. I'm riding home, and I still remember this. I got the check laying on my leg, and I'm looking at it, and it's $100,000. And it's like, it was unreal, we all like to fish, and you come out here and, you win $100,000 for, a weekend angler. That's awesome.
So, I'm Dustin, and I'd like to give Benji a lot more credit, and he's not going to give himself. But November, he was, staying in trailer houses, renting places to stay. We run an logging job, timber, back home, so between that and my family deer hunts a lot. So November we was deer hunting a lot, and he steady texting me, man, you need to come. So I started easing over. Then like I say, he gave me a lot of advice what to look for, and we split up, and we knew we couldn't compete with some of these guys. I mean, we wasn't going to catch no 30, 40-pound stringer by no means, but 18 to 20 we felt was doable, especially conditions, cold, windy, raining. We was soaking wet first day. And like I say, it worked out in our favor, really.
So when did y'all find the fish? Did y'all find it like right, like the weekend before the tournament, or were y'all following them for a couple weeks? Or I mean,
you actually won a tournament over here by yourself in December, right? A Rusty RTT tournament. And there again, I was probably running deer dogs early December. But I'd say the weekend or two before the tournament, we really started seeing some stuff we really liked. And we had to go back to work, of course, the week before the tournament, and come back and the stuff had muddied up, stuff had changed, stuff we was counting on, nothing was there. And we kind of just settled down in one area and caught a 6-pounder every day, every day out of it. The final day was two big ones, the final day. So you take those 3 6-pounders away, I mean.
And I got a question real quick for them. Actually, it's a 2-part question. First one is, how does it feel coming from Toledo and whooping up on all these Rayburn boys last year? Secondly, Wyatt and Shane, how does it feel blowing it for Team Rayburn? Yeah, exactly. That one stings.
No, to your point, like coming from Toledo, Toledo's a popular lake. It's famous. It's got some good fishermen. Rayburn, there's some hammers on Rayburn. And yeah, the money's awesome, but it meant more to me to come compete against all these guys right here. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this is a lion's den down here. I mean, look at every one of these guys. Look at their resumes, and that's what meant the most to me.
Yeah, and I think that's what I kind of want out of this is I want the guys really who want to come compete against the best and who want to beat the best. I think that's how, kind of how I am. I want to compete at the highest level, and I think that's what we'll be able to provide the anglers is just being able to compete against the best and beat the best so that you can, be the best, be considered the best out there. So I think it's pretty cool thing about Brandon Belt fishing.
And to get back to your point, yeah, I mean, anybody could do it because I've been over here like 12 times in my life, and that's the truth. So, I mean.
Maybe I should fish it then.
No, you wouldn't. No, I think, another thing for me was the big bass, and that was a lot of fun watching that because we had probably, 3 teams within a tenth of a pound.
Yeah, I think David and y'all had a 960 something day one, I think. Yeah, so and then I think a 973 ended up winning it the second day. I mean, so it was.
Danny Isles was up there too, right around that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Brand Dickinson.
They're Central Texas too.
Yeah.
Or Dallas, Fort Worth.
But a big bass for me is like I feel like I could run out there and accidentally run on something, and you get a chance to win $80,000, $90,000 if you run up on the right spot, at the right time. So,
and that's why, that's why we did, or structured it the way that we did, is because we got a young kid. His name's Jeremiah Brumble. He's going to come fish it. He's 15 years old. He has almost just as much chance to catch a 10-pounder than anybody else, and so it's not only going to bring guys to this caliber, but it'll also bring a bunch of your amateurs. Look at Big Bass Splash. Look at Tracy's over there pointing at himself. But you have that chance. I mean, this year it's the Bass Cat era, and it's going to have a 250 Mercury Pro XS. I mean, it's an $85,000 boat, We would hope that you want to run it next year. I know most of y'all guys here are sponsored. But worst case scenario, you turn around and sell it, get your money. I mean, I bought the last boat back from Brandon and them, and they got their money, and they went on happy down the road. So on one fish,
Speaking of Tracy, I think he's looking for a partner right now. So people send in your resumes to Brandon Belt Fishing. I can hook you up.
Only partner I'm looking for is one of these 12, and I think they already got somebody.
Yeah, that's all. So that kind of moves into the next and almost last subject. I kind of want to have it's a quick, a 5-minute open discussion. If just a couple of y'all want to comment on this, but I mean the weather, knock on wood, looks like it's going to be a little bit better than last year. It's showing right now lows in the 60s during the day for the day, and then mid-40s at night. I mean, the grass, I'm sure y'all seen it everywhere. I'm wondering if that's going to come into play, or do y'all think it's going to be one deep? Is it going to be on brush piles? I mean, if I could take just a couple of y'all to give me, what y'all think is going to take to win this tournament coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I want to add something to that too, if y'all don't mind. For the guys that are fishing the team series, how do you think that Rayburn is going to fish in May as well? I think we're having the Rayburn tournament in May. And maybe even Toledo as well, for the guys who fish Toledo a lot. I mean, that'd be interesting for me to hear, and I think people would love to hear that. So.
Yeah. Dickie, what do you think's on win this tournament in a couple of weeks?
It being a 3-day event, I think the grass is going to come into play a lot more this year. Last year we didn't have much grass. Grass was suffering. And this year we've got the best grass we've had in years. And we've got a little bit of fresh water, as we hear right now, coming down. It's going to raise the water a little bit, and it's going to make the lake itself fish a lot larger because of all the grass that we have. It'll spread the boats out, and it's going to pull a lot of with this water rising and stuff, it's going to pull a lot of the fish in. The grass is going to come into play for sure, especially being a 3-day event. There'll still be big sacks caught out, but whether or not it's done 3 days in a row, that'll be a different story.
I got you. So real quick, and hopefully our audience will probably learn something. I know I did. Last time I talked to you, you said something about the grass stands up, but like when a northern or something, it falls down and covers up the hole or something?
Yeah, when the water temperature starts falling like it has here recently with all this cold weather, our grass lays over. And it's been standing up all fall and all through the early part of the winter. But as it falls over, it plugs up a lot of the voids and stuff where a lot of the fish are laying, so they start laying on top of the voids and stuff, and it makes them more vulnerable to a rattle trap. I mean, it becomes. That's right. That's when the rattle trap starts being the key bait, and so I think it's going. And there again, this opens it up to anybody. I mean, anybody that can throw, cast, and wind is going to have a chance. I mean, they'll hit a wad of 4 or 5 pounders and come in with 22 to 25 pounds very easily. So it's not just all these great fishermen out here running around. I mean, anybody that loves to fish with a rattle trap or any type of chatterbait or anything like that, they're going to do well.
Benji, so do you think y'all are going to try to use the same technique as you did last year, or are y'all going to completely change it up? I mean, is it a different lake than last year? I mean, what are y'all thoughts?
Well, first of all, we're basically a month earlier this year than we were last year. So just from what I'm seeing, it's a little different. I think we're going to have to do a mixture of both, a little bit of shallow and a little bit of deep, for all 3 days. I don't know, and I think it all depends on, how consistent the weather is. If you get, 3 days of solid weather, you may be able to stay on the same pattern for 3 days. But, just from what I've seen, it's changing daily. So, but not sure if we're going to be able to do the same or use the same area as we did last year. As of right now, no.
Anybody else? They got any predictions or?
Yeah, weight predictions. What do y'all think is going to win it this year as far as weight goes? Day 1, day 2, and final.
I like 58. Yeah, I like 58.
What about getting into the final 20?
I thought about this. I think 33 will get you in the final 20, possibly 34 definitely.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I think Clayton's spot on with the 20 line, but I think it's going to be 61, 62. Just no. He hasn't even been on the water, and I've been 4 days since Thanksgiving, and I've caught 2 of them over 4 pounds. So y'all be sure and bet on me in the Calcutta. So now,
I got a 2-week-old boat that still has.
I kind of like what you spoke on right there. I think a team's gonna have to have a nice 1-2 punch. Like, you're gonna have to really dig deep in your bag, especially getting down to that final day. I think it's gonna be a mixture. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a guy can. There's definitely a few teams that could definitely maybe catch a big bag and ride it out the next 2 days. That's always possible on this lake, but I think you're gonna have to dig deep. I think you're gonna have to catch them a few different ways and be versatile. And I think at the end of the day, that's the team that's going to come out on top, is the people who are most versatile and have a few different things going on. But I'm with the same weight. 58 to 60 is going to be really stout. I mean, you catch 20 a day, you're going to be really, really stout. Going back to what Clayton said earlier, if that tournament was one more day, they'd have been really stout last year. So that's always stout anywhere. I mean, but 20 a day is going to be hard to beat.
I got you. Brandon, you got anything else? I'll wrap this up.
No, just thank y'all for coming out.
Nobody talked about the Texas market.
Yeah, you can if you want to, or if you think we should wrap it up or whatever. I'd like to.
Is it full field 2 days?
Yeah, and I was about to go over that. So this is a 3-day tournament. Full field is going to be first 2 days. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
The series is going to be 2 days.
Full field.
Yeah, full field for 2 days. 3, I believe. Yeah, and we wanted to we wanted to find the guys who could be consistent over a couple days, and for that entry fee, we wanted you to get your money's worth at least. Going out there more than 1 day. So it'll be 2 days, full field.
A cumulative weight, or not zero or anything. Could we get that question asked a lot?
What's that?
The cumulative weight over the 2 days?
Yeah, cumulative weight. We definitely want the guys who just want to fish one lake. That's totally fine with us. Jump on in, but for the championship, cumulative weight, or is that what you're talking about, or just per tournament?
Talking about per tournament.
Yeah, cumulative weight per tournament, and obviously we're giving out points for the championship. So top 75 teams will do that. So you're going to have a 1 in 75 chance to win $100,000. And that's a cool deal, man. That gives you good odds. And we're still going to have a good payout down the line too. So
I'm going to warn y'all, I'm fishing them as well. So
All I ask, don't take it to a suck open chin.
yeah, no, it's not going to be. Have y'all released it yet?
no, and I don't know if we should yet, but I think we got it locked down. It'll be. I don't know if we put this out there yet, but last year I said I was going to give $25,000 to any team that catches over 40 pounds in our tournament.
On a single day.
On a single day, and I'm going to do that again this year. So don't hold back. Go out there and catch them. To get an extra $25,000.
All right, guys. Just want to kind of recap for everybody. It's the Brandon Belt $100,000 Grand Slam. We're going to be giving away a Bass Cat here. It's a brand new 2023. It's already built. It hadn't got here yet. Probably going to be here next week. But a 2023 Bass Cat here. It's going to be pushed by Mercury 250 Pro XS. That's going to be big bass. We also have the day money. Last year, I think 91, 92% of all the anglers got in the day money. We're right there. We're about 93% so far. If you haven't signed up already, which there's a couple of guys here that haven't signed up, but you go to BrandonBeltFishing.com. You can sign up there for the tournament, or if you're like me and wait till the last minute, we are going to have registration at Humphreys, which is going to be on the Wednesday evening before the tournament. It's going to be from 4 to 7. At least one angler of each team has to come up, get their goodie bag. We're going to have food. We're going to have music. It's going to be a good time. This come and go as you please, but you can sign up at registration on January 11th, which is that Wednesday between 4 and 7. That's all I've got.
Yeah, they're saying it's January 11th is when the registration is.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I mean, I think we were kind of expecting a little bit less. Fewer entries this year.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, everything that I've read. I mean, Clint put out an article and saying the entries are going to be down a little bit this year, and we kind of expected it. But I mean, if we can hit 250 entries, I mean, we're going to have a great
250.
payday.
That's that's better chances than 332.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I think we had a great time last year. We had a lot of fun, even though the weather was bad. So if the weather's good this year, we're going to have even more fun.
Absolutely.
And if we can get to that third day top 20, that's going to make it more exciting.
Yep.
And that's what I'm really looking forward to. We just had a blast. I'm hoping we can have as many people come out and watch the weigh-ins. Yep. And that'll be we'll be live streaming the weigh-ins on our Facebook page.
Correct. We invited all the spectators to come out and watch all the weigh-ins. I think the last day, I don't know the exact count, but I'm gonna guess we probably had 300 or 400 spectators that's not in the tournament. They just came to see the weigh-in, and that lets you know you're doing the right thing. Get the spectators involved and the kids involved, and we had a couple of high school fishing teams that were taking fish to dump them back in the lake, and We had this really good sponsorship, and it turned out really well. We learned some things. Of course, you always going to learn something first time you go out and do something like that. But yeah, I mean, it was well worth it. And again, at the end of the day, I mean, we sent over $105,000 to the Father's Heart Orphanage. They currently have about 90 kids, ages from 2 weeks old all the way up to 18 years old. And their food bill per year is right at about $100,000 to feed the entire orphanage. So, I mean, thanks to y'all and thanks to the rest of our anglers. I mean, we can say that we fed an orphanage for the entire year.
And they were hit hard by COVID too, so they didn't get a lot of the money they usually get. So that was huge for us, and that's a big part of the reason why I want to do this, is be able to help out an orphanage or whatever it may be. That's a big component for me.
Well, I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I know Brandon does too. Brandonville Fishing does. Y'all being a part of this, driving out. Hopefully y'all got full. If not, we got tons of hamburgers. Like I said, we really appreciate the bottom of my heart. Y'all coming out here supporting us, and at the end of the day, we're here to support y'all. So thank y'all so much.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, sir.